Hello! So as you can tell, I firstly have lost my voice and secondly completely forgot to record an intro for this video. But don't worry, my voice is completely normal for the rest of this video. But this is my take on the ultimate girly pink Victoria's Secret inspired glam. In this video, I used some of my all-time favourite products and I absolutely love how this turned out. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, obviously, skincare. I could not tell you how many bottles of this stuff I have got through. The entire L'Oreal Revitalift range is honestly some of the best skincare I've ever used, and it's from a drugstore brand. Honestly, I wish this was sponsored. I was using this in front of my mum the other day and she was saying, you don't need that yet. It's literally like meant to be anti-aging, I think, which I didn't even realise, but honestly, it just makes your skin look so good. I don't even care if it's like meant to be for my age skin or not. Now, the next product I'd normally use is the La Roche-Posay Hyaluronic B5 serum, but I don't know if you can see, I am literally completely out of this. Like, there is nothing left in this bottle, and as a girl that has a lot of skincare and makeup, emptying a product and getting through the entirety of something honestly is a rarity. But I think instead I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna try something I've never tried before. I feel like, especially with skincare, it feels very risky trying a new product, but I've been wanting to try this for so long, and I feel like the packaging is just perfect for this video as well. This is the Clinique Moisture Surge Active Glow Serum. I'm kind of hoping that this is gonna have a similar effect to the La Roche-Posay one. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is not in the best way. I feel like in both my recent YouTube videos, I've been losing my voice, which is weird because I lost my voice, then I got it back again, and now it's gone again. But honestly, I low-key kind of love losing my voice because it just makes me feel like Elena Gilbert. That probably makes me a pick-me, but at the minute though, I can kind of handle this level of losing it. Like, this is still very manageable. That serum has actually gone on really nicely. I think because I've got kind of a fresh tan on my face at the minute, it's making my skin look very glowy and like clear. For moisturiser, I would normally either use the L'Oreal Revitalift moisturiser, the one that's from this range, but in classic flow form, I can't find it. So instead, I reached for my Laneige Water Bank moisturiser, but she's empty. I'm gonna have to try something new. This has been sat on my desk for honestly weeks, and I don't know why I haven't tried it. I feel like I'm such a creature of habit. Like, once I find a product that works for me, I don't want to switch from it because, like, why fix something that isn't broken? But I already know that this is going to be phenomenal. This is the Tatcha Dewy Milk Moisturiser. And Tatcha products, they might be pricey, but oh my god, they're so good. And this is apparently more of a, like, lighter, hydrating moisturiser rather than the kind of heavy creams. I have definitely used way too much of that. This also has the exact same scent as the other moisturisers. Normally, I don't love scented skincare, but for Tatcha, I feel like I can make an exception. You know what? These hair clips are so cute, but when it comes to actually keeping your hair out of your face, they're really not that functional. But I don't know if you can see, they're from Dior. What? I got a Dior skincare PR package the other day, and I was genuinely pinching myself, and when I saw that they'd included hair clips, honestly, I was obsessed. No, because this is exactly what I want my skin to look like before I do a glowy makeup look. This, phenomenal. As tempting as it is, I don't want to go too overboard with the skincare because I'm scared that it might start to pill under my makeup. So I think as a final step, I'm going to use the Rhode Glazing Milk. I feel like I'm surprised every single time by Rhode skincare products because they're so viral and the packaging is so cute that it could easily be just a bit of a gimmicky brand and the products not really work that well, but they genuinely work so well. This is one of the newest Rhode skincare products and I'm obsessed with it. I feel like bringing this on a plane or just like throughout the day to kind of hydrate your skin would just be the dream. Now that I'm literally looking like a glazed donut, we can move on to the makeup. So for primer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Grippy Serum. Also, love how much this matches the aesthetic we've got going on. So the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer has been one of my favourite ride or die makeup products for years. Like, there was a period I literally did not do my makeup using anything else, but when the Maybelline Grippy Primer came out, I thought this seems like a similar type of product, and honestly, I think I might even prefer it to the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I feel like it's just a tiny bit easier to work with because it's not as thick. I mean, they're so similar. If I had to tell the difference between the two, I think I would find it quite tricky, but the main thing I have noticed is that yeah, the Maybelline one is just more liquidy. So that just means that it is easier to get all over your skin and you don't need so much product. Also, if you've noticed that I'm blending in my products in a slightly weird way, it's because I'm trying to avoid touching my finger to my face because I cut my finger last night. It's so weird. I literally have no idea how I did it. 1 minute my finger was fine and then I took out the bins. So glamorous, so fun. And when I came back, I had a cut on my finger. My theory is that I accidentally cut it on like a tin lid. You know how when you open a tin, the lids get so sharp? But yeah, I'm just trying to avoid touching it. But let's move on to our base. Given we're doing a super glowy makeup look, we want the foundation to be quite light and natural. So I think I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. This is in the shade 4.5 and this is actually normally way too dark for me. Like if I'm going to use this, I use a tiny bit, even just sometimes on my forehead. But since I went away, this actually matches my skin tone now. Tell me that is not the best feeling, like coming away from being on holiday and having your holiday foundation shade match. I mean, while I'm putting it on, it's still a little bit dark, but because it's so sheer, it'll blend out and match. But funnily enough, the tan on my face is actually fake. The tan on my body is real, but I am such an SPF girly, especially on holiday and somewhere hot. So while I was away, I was lathering my face in SPF, but I didn't really put that much SPF on my body. Honestly, I don't really care if my body gets wrinkly before my face does. I just love having a tan on my body so much. Obviously within reason, like I'm not just going out with no SPF and just letting myself burn. But the only downside of wearing SPF on your face and not your body is that you come back from being on holiday and your face is like 10 shades lighter than the rest of you. I just sprayed some of the, I think it's called Paradise Island. Isle of Paradise? Something like that. I used their spray fake tan and it genuinely, I mean, you saw before I put makeup on, it did such a good job. So now my face does match my neck, but this is fake and then this is real. Right, you see how natural that is? That is exactly the effect I wanted. So next I think I'm gonna do bronzer. I feel like most people do their concealer after their foundation before they do their bronzer and blush, but I actually love doing bronzer and blush and then using the concealer to kind of clean up any bits where I've gone a little bit overboard with bronzer and blush. So for bronzer, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills cream bronzer in the shade Amber. This is genuinely the best cream bronzer I've ever used in my life, and I feel like it is so underrated. It goes on quite natural and not too heavy, but then it's really easy to build and blend, and also I feel like the shade is just perfect for my skin tone. But oh my gosh, this is such an underrated product. I need to see more people using this. Given I am already quite tanned, I feel like I don't need too much of this, but I'm just a bronzer girly through and through. Like, I love bronzer. I'm also going to use a tiny bit of this on my nose, but to be honest, when I conceal, most of this will probably disappear anyway. No, I literally look like that one photo of Selena Gomez at the Met Gala. Tell me that does not look the same. Oh gosh, bless her. I want to know who did her makeup. Because how did that happen? Okay, liquid blush. I normally use very peachy toned liquid blushes. Like the Claudia Kilsby liquid blush in the shade Promiscuous is my absolute go-to. I've almost run out of my one. I need to get a new one. But given we're doing a very pinky, girly cheek, we definitely need something more pink. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I had this. This is literally perfect. This is the Claudia Kilsby liquid blush, but in the shade On Wednesdays. How did I not even know I had this? I was just going through my drawers looking for a pink blush, and here one is. I'm so excited for this. To be completely honest, most of this like cream product that I'm putting on is going to disappear when I powder, but obviously we're going to put it back on with powder, bronzer and blush. But I just feel like having this kind of base in place makes such a difference to the longevity of your makeup. Do you guys see why this is my favorite liquid blush? It's so perfect. For concealer, you can already guess what I'm going to use. The Lancome All Over Concealer. This is quite a yellowy toned concealer though, so I think I'm actually going to try mixing in a little bit of the Rimmel Multitasker Concealer in the shade Porcelain. This is one of the lightest shades of concealer that they do. This is 010, so I'm definitely not going to need much of it. So I think I'm just going to apply some of this first, and then we can see where we need to kind of brighten a bit. Also, how crazy is this? This concealer is normally almost exactly the same colour as my skin tone. And look at the colour on me now. Just having a tan is the best thing ever. Sorry, I promise I'll shut up about it at some point. Just not yet. I am such a beauty blender girl, but I don't know what it is about going away on holiday. I always manage to forget my beauty blender. For some reason, my brain just thinks I need brushes only. But anytime I've had to blend out my base products using a brush, it just doesn't hit the same. I feel like the beauty blender really helps to keep things hydrated. So we definitely don't need much of this concealer. Oh my god, looking at this, it actually is so light. I'm only going to use the tiniest amount, and I'm just going to do it under my eyes because I don't feel like we really need it anywhere else. For powder, my absolute ride or die is the Anastasia Beverly Hills translucent powder, but given we're doing a pink under eye, I feel like we have to use some of the Huda Beauty pink powder. This is in the shade Cherry Blossom Cake. Now this, when it's in the pot, looks so intimidating, like it's literally pink, but when it goes on your skin, because obviously it evens out and it's quite sheer, it doesn't look nearly as intense. I mean, she says we might put it on and it might be like, oh my god, what is that? I haven't used this product in a very long time, so I'm going to use the Trigwell large powder puff and then dust the excess off on my hand. Now this could either make or break this look. I can't lie, I'm a little bit scared, but we're just going to press into my under eyes. Right, I haven't dusted off the excess, but look at the difference. This powder is literally just airbrush in a tub. Like, I don't know what Huda put in this, but she absolutely smashed this. For the rest of my face, I am just going to use the Anastasia translucent powder, and I know this is currently looking very matte, but trust me, once we finish the skin, it's going to be really glowy. I genuinely cannot believe how smooth this base is looking. It's genuinely kind of giving like doll vibes, even without it being glowy. Honestly, I could probably just leave it like this and do a matte skin look, but I just feel like the glowy base is going to bring this all together. So before I go in with powder products over the top, I'm going to spray some setting spray. I feel like spritzing something on your face in between steps is honestly the key to firstly long-lasting makeup, and secondly skin that looks just natural and glowy and like lit from within. So I'm actually going to use two, and every time I use this I feel like I need to apologize because it is so pricey. But the Gucci face mist, I don't know what is in this, but this honestly makes my skin look some of the glowiest it's ever looked. So I'm just going to do a few spritzes of this, and it's such a fine mist. I can genuinely barely feel it going on my skin. And then I'm also going to use a bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. You want to make sure that your skin is completely dry before you start doing your powder products, because otherwise that's when things start to go patchy. But for powder bronzer, I'm going to use some of the Kylie bronzer. I honestly can't even see the shade of this anymore. All the like writing has worn off. That is how much I have used this. I wish I could tell you what shade it is, but I genuinely have no idea. But I'm just going to pop this in all the places that we bronzed before. I'm also going to use this for nose contour, and to get that kind of cutesy doll effect, I'm going to put a little bit on the top of my nose here and then a little bit under here to kind of lift it. Now for the absolute best bit, we're going to do powder blush, and the only blush that I want to use for this is Kylie Cosmetics Winter Kissed. This is just the ultimate baby pink blush. I also love this formula. It's somewhere in between like a powder and a cream blush, and it's literally perfect. I genuinely cannot believe that there was a time where I did not use blush in my makeup looks, because now I honestly don't think any makeup look is complete without blush. Okay, final step of the skin makeup, highlighter. I'm actually going to use two different highlighters. Firstly, on my cheeks, I'm going to use the Refi one. This is basically like a gloss highlighter, which sounds intimidating, but if you use it in the right way, it's so beautiful. So I just put literally the tiniest bit on the back of my hand and then use my fingers to gently tap it in. You really do not need much of this, and it also takes a few seconds to kind of sink into the skin. So if you don't see much kind of payoff in the first few seconds, just leave it. Don't be fooled into thinking you need to add loads more, because it will show up on your skin. Then for my nose and my forehead, I'm going to use Benefit Cookie, and I just like using a powder highlighter for these areas because it means I have a little bit more control over where the product goes. Now, you guys know me, I am so tempted to add fake freckles to this, but I feel like the base is looking so smooth and perfect, I don't even want to risk ruining it. So instead, let's move on to the eyes. To start the eyes, I'm just going to use a tiny bit of the concealer that's left over on my beauty blender as a base, and then I'm going to set it with a tiny bit of setting powder. And I actually have the perfect eyeshadow palette for this look. This is the Kylie Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, but it actually doesn't say what the name of the palette is. Am I going crazy? But this is the like pinky toned palette. And I think for the base, I'm going to use a combination of just a bunch of the matte shades. Mostly Better With Time, which is this kind of brownie pink, and 90s Vibe and Blushing. And I'm going to focus this on the outer corner of my eye. Now, the girl in the video that I was kind of watching and following along with does a shimmer on the lids. But I actually feel like shimmer eyelids don't really suit me. So if you're wanting to recreate this, you can obviously just pick whichever you'd rather do. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a little bit more of the excess concealer that was left on the beauty blender, and I'm going to pop this on the kind of inner half of my eye, and then I'm going to use some of the Winter Kissed blush again on my lids. I really hope that this turns out how I'm imagining it. Now that looks so cute, but I feel like it's not really giving dull vibes, so I feel like I need to go over the top with a bit more of a light, maybe white eyeshadow. Not actually sure if I have one of those. Oh, I do. I don't actually know if I've used this palette. This is the Be Perfect Cosmetics Bright Mattes palette. Look how perfect, firstly, and secondly, I feel like this is going to be exactly what we need. So I'm mostly going to put this on the inner corner. This look is low-key throwing me back to my full glam days. Like, I feel like this is a perfect in-between between natural makeup and also creative makeup. So finally, on the inner corner, I'm going to add a tiny bit more of the Cookie highlighter by Benefit. And then I think eyeshadow is done. Would it be a flow makeup look without some brown eyeliner? That is the question. So I'm going to use the YSL pencil liner. This is my favorite brown eyeliner ever. I genuinely use this pretty much every single day. And we're just going to do a kind of smoky, buffed out wing. I don't want this to be too intense, but I just feel like this will make the eyeshadow really pop. For the waterline, we're going to do a little mix between a kind of white cream eyeliner and then the brown again. This is the Victoria Beckham eyeliner, I think in the shade Neutral, and then obviously the YSL again. And for the cream one, I'm just going to put it kind of right here underneath my, what's that called? The actual part of your eyeball. It's not the iris. Is it? You guys know what I'm talking about. I feel like this just helps to really open the eye and get that doll effect. But then I want to use the brown to kind of accentuate the outer corner of my eye. And I think for both top and bottom mascara, we're going to use the Eyelash mascara. I actually got lash extensions recently, and you're not really supposed to wear mascara when you have extensions, but I just can't help it. Like, you're telling me I'm supposed to leave this makeup look looking like this with no mascara. It will probably make the extensions not last as long, but I just feel like I cannot not use mascara when doing a makeup look. Also, I'm pretty sure most of the actual extensions have come out now, so I just have the lash lift left. Oopsies. I actually just tried kind of extending this highlighter over my lid, and honestly I think that was the best decision. I know I said that I don't like shimmer on my eyelids, but I just feel like that makes it look so much more blended. So now that eyes are done, let's do brows, and then we just have to do lips and we're done. Always remember to dust off your brows using a cotton pad or even just a tissue before you fill them in. This will just make them look so much more sharp and kind of prevent the look from looking a bit messy. I've actually been loving my natural brows recently, like not even putting brow gel or anything in them. So I feel like I'm going to try and go super natural with the brow pencil, but I genuinely find it so hard. I feel like once I start filling in my eyebrows, I can't stop. But I'm going to use, where is it? Hello? The Maybelline Express Brow Pencil. Genuinely one of the best brow pencils I've ever used. It's just so easy to use. So I'm going to try and only fill in the areas of my brows that are a little bit sparse. Don't go overboard, Flo. I definitely might have gone a little bit overboard, but I actually really like how they're looking. I've been doing my brows a little bit more messy recently. Like, I used to always have such defined brows, like think 2016 brows, carved, but actually recently I've been loving them a little bit more natural. So for brow gel, we're going to use the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel, and I'm so excited to do the lips because I feel like that is going to steal the show, if I can get it right. Also, why does this happen every single time I do my makeup? I feel like the blush has disappeared. Well, it's not completely disappeared, but it's not nearly as bright as it was at the start. So I'm just going to go back over the top and add some more. So for lips, I'm going to use Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Dolce K. And for this, we need to be overlining to the gods. Honestly, lips are, I think, the part of my makeup that I feel least good at. Like, in the 9 years I've been doing makeup, I still do not feel like I know what I'm doing with lips. Like, sometimes it works perfectly and I'm like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. And then sometimes it looks so bad I have to have like 5 attempts. So let's see what it is today. Okay, I think it worked. And now this is something that I absolutely love doing when it comes to makeup, but I feel like I haven't seen many people do this. So instead of using like either a matte lipstick, which can sometimes be quite heavy or dry, dry or using like a full-on gloss, I love using a little bit of the blush that I've used on the center of my lips. I feel like it just brings everything together. So I'm going to use some of Winter Kissed and just use my finger to tap it on really lightly. Now you know that I am a matte lips girly through and through, but I'm very aware that that is not for everybody. So I feel like I should add a gloss, even though it pains me inside. I really want to try the MAC lip gloss. Is that what it's called? I've been seeing it all over TikTok, and the way that it makes everyone's lips literally look like they're made of glass is crazy. But I don't have it. I might have to go out and buy it myself. But for gloss, I'm thinking I have the Giorgio Armani lip gloss in the shade Prisma Glass, and this has a slight like pink sparkly tint to it. I actually used this the other day in a video and it was so nice, so I feel like this would be perfect. You know what? I actually want to layer this, so I'm also going to use a bit of the Dior Beauty Lip Maximizer gloss in the shade 027. This also has a slightly kind of holographic-y, sparkly finish to it. I just want especially the middle of my lips to be super glowy. As a finishing touch, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of the black Kylie mascara to my top lashes just to give them a little bit more oomph. And I've just realised that I also haven't done my top waterline, so let me do that as well. And there you have it. This is the finished look. I have to say, I love it. I wish that I had the time and the energy to do this makeup look every single day, because I feel like this is just me in a makeup look. I love that it's not too intense either. Like, yes, we used a lot of product and it took a while, but it's actually quite wearable. I feel like it's the skin. If this had matte skin, it would be like, whoa. But the fact that we've got the glowy skin going on, I feel like it does look quite natural. Obviously, this amount of makeup is never going to look natural, but it doesn't look like, oh my God. You know, I had a whole plan to like do a little update of what I've been up to and catch up on stuff during this video, and then I just got so carried away talking about the makeup. I literally didn't speak about any of it, so I'll just have to do that in another video. But I really hope that you enjoyed watching. Please let me know if you recreate this look. Tag me, send me photos. I want to see it. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to me here if you want to see more content. Also, do follow me on my other platforms. I'm Glam by Flo on pretty much every single platform. Also, leave a comment down below if you got this far in the video. Comment this emoji, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.